So it's no secret on this channel that I used to be really not good with women. You guys have seen some of my before pictures. They're not good. And when I started cold approach when I was 18, I got pretty good with women really fast. I actually got laid for the first time from cold approach after about a month of approaching consistently. And that is not because I was naturally good with women. That was because I was borderline autistic with how obsessed I got with getting good with women and getting good with talking to girls. It was very, very important to me. And a lot of you guys are way too obsessed with being normal, not being an outlier. But by definition, if you want a good dating life, you have to be an outlier. You have to be okay with being someone that's willing to do things that are a little weird or a little unconventional. All right. So in this video, I'm going to give you 3 borderline autistic things that I did when I was 18 and 19 to get laid very quickly when I first started cold approach. And you can apply this, whether it's like getting laid, getting a relationship, getting results with cold approach and meeting women. I'm actually going to tell you exactly 3 things that you can do that you can implement that might be extreme, but if you're serious about getting results, you'll actually do it, and you can do it very, very well. And generally, unless you're really hard stuck on something for 3 to 6 months, like the same part of the interaction, you can do this without coaching. I didn't invest in coaching until I was 22. So I actually got some pretty decent intermediate results on my own for free. So the first extreme thing that I did to get good with women quickly was I started going out every day for a significant chunk of time. Okay. I lived in a town called Republic, Missouri. Okay. It's 30 minutes outside of Springfield. Springfield itself has one university. It has like 150,000 people, maybe 200,000 now. But at the time, it was not a big city. Okay. It's still not. So every day after school, I would drive 30 minutes to go into town and approach for at least an hour every single weekday after school, every day. And if you're a guy that doesn't have time, make time, because I talk about this on the channel all the time, but your results do not care. Your results don't care. No one cares that you are busy or that you have a lot going on. It doesn't matter. You have to make time for this. If you want to get good at something, you need to put time into it. It doesn't matter. You need to get time in front of women to get comfortable in front of women. There is no amount of going to the gym and being an alpha male that's going to help you with that. All right. You have to make time to go out, talk to women, be around women. If there's ways you can do that organically, make, an hour of your day be around women, then cool, that's fine. But you have to practice a lot of these concepts. It's very, very important. If you guys don't practice these concepts because it's weird or because you don't want to come off like that guy that's going out and talking to girls, then you're always going to be the guy that's kind of working on it for like 5-10 years at a time. But if you want to knock this problem out in 6 to 12 months, then you can just go out every single day and take tons of action. I would go out for an hour or 2 hours and make 5, maybe 8 approaches in that entire time during the day. And then I would go out at night. When I was 18, I would walk around on the streets outside of bars. I just approach people that were bar hopping to work on night game. I was literally out all the time working on this stuff. I was completely obsessed. And that's why I say that this stuff is kind of borderline autistic, but it works. Okay. Putting in maximum effort, taking this seriously is not something to be frowned upon. It's something to actually aspire to and want to take things seriously. Why would you ever want to half-ass anything in your life, especially if it's a core pillar of your life like relationships? Relationships are probably the most important part of your life. Why would you half-ass it? All right. So don't be half-assing this shit. You have to go out and you have to make actual effort. Now, you don't have to go out every single day for an hour or 2 hours during the day, but you need to take significant chunks of time out of your day, almost every day, if not every day, to work on this stuff. Because if you don't, you will not make consistent progress. It's just not going to happen for you, especially on your own, especially if you don't have help. The second thing I did that most guys are never going to be able to drop their egos enough to do is I was working on specific technical problems in my game every single approach. So whether it's my eye contact, my tonality, slowing down, having good body language, even like stuff like I'm gonna flirt 3 times before I ask for the number. I'm gonna wait to close the girl that I'm talking to until I hit this sticking point, until I actually work on the sticking point. And I would make 5 to 8 approaches with a specific purpose to get better at a skill during the interaction. Most guys are not disciplined enough to do this. They're gonna try to chase numbers. They're gonna try to make themselves feel good. They're gonna try to avoid rejection. You have to come at this from a I'm building a skill standpoint. If you not come at this trying to build a skill, trying to actually get good at talking to women, then you're not going to get good at talking to women, and you're definitely not going to get results. A lot of guys try to prioritize results first, and that's why they fail. That's why they get stuck for years and years and years, because they get one number because they got lucky, because the girl likes them, and they think that their game is sick, but it's actually not. They haven't put in enough volume. They don't know where their game's at. You have no idea until you systematize this stuff. You have no idea until you work through all your sticking points, until even girls that normally would not be that attracted to you are actually kind of appealed, actually find you kind of appealing. Until that's happening, it is not dialed in, it is not systematized. And that brings me to a side point of wanting to be really good at this stuff. I never wanted to be average in my dating life. I had had my heart broken a few times. when I was in high school, and I didn't ever want that to happen again. I didn't want to ever second guess myself or wonder, oh man, I wonder when, or I wonder if this girl is ever gonna like me again, or I wonder if I'm gonna get a date. I wonder when I'm gonna get my next girlfriend. I wonder if I'm gonna have a relationship I'm happy with. I never wanted to guess that because I knew it would distract me from so many other things that I wanted to do in my life, and I knew I wanted to do cool stuff. I knew I wanted to, at the time I was like, I'm gonna be a pro gamer, right? I wanted to be really successful at something, and I knew it would be so distracting to have this on the back burner for my whole life, so I just wanted to knock it out as quickly as possible. And it took a little longer than ideally I would have liked, but eventually, you know, by taking it seriously and prioritizing it, it became something that I really got good at. And that's the mindset that you guys have to approach this with. If you are not here to win, then this is not the place for you. This is not the skill to work on. You might as well just wait around for, you know, Kathy from work, or, you know, Sarah from marketing or accounting to come up to you and like strike up a conversation and hope you go on a date with her and hope you don't fuck it up. You might as well just be doing that, because if you want to take dating into your own hands, it is so much different than just getting lucky randomly. All right. But if you're not the type of guy that wants to get lucky and you want to have consistent results, then you're probably going to want to work on this. Now I'm going to get to the third thing that I did that made my results really skyrocket when I was 21, 22. But really, you can get pretty good results just by doing these first 2 points, just by going out and blocking out time and working on specific sticking points by yourself. If you want a little bit more support, in the link in the description, I coach guys for $54 a month inside my school community. You can be alongside like-minded guys that are also working on the same stuff, that can also answer questions for you. I answer all these questions inside my school community. There's weekly calls with me. I do live approaches just to show you guys that I actually do it. I literally go out, I get numbers, I get dates on the call with you guys, just walking around. I literally show you live, no editing, no bullshit, that I do this myself. And that's not just to brag, that's to show you guys that it's actually possible. And then I'll break down my interactions afterwards. So if you want to join the school community, the link is down in the description. It's only $54 a month right now. At some point in the future, if you're watching this 3 years from now, it's probably going to be around $100. All right, easily worth it for the value you get. You get tons of courses on how to run your interactions. You can learn from me personally on how I run my interactions, and you can listen live while I do approaches. You can ask me questions on specific sticking points, especially if you're going out and trying to work on these things in your approaches piece by piece. Now, the third thing I did, and I promise this is not some bullshit story about how you should buy coaching from me. I invested $3,000 in coaching, and I'll even drop the guy's name because he still does dating coaching now. It was Todd V. I spent $3,000 on Todd V's coaching program, and it totally changed my life. I went from getting kind of lucky, like I had gotten laid at that point a decent amount. I had been in a relationship with a girl that was attractive, that I was, you know, relatively happy with, but I still kind of felt like I settled. I didn't, you know, I had some unfinished business, I felt like, being single and dating, and the coaching really took it to the next level for me. Just to give you an idea of what we're talking about here, I think I was maybe hooking up with, and at the time, this is kind of how I measured success, even though it's not how I do it now. I was hooking up with, you know, maybe like 1.5 or 2 on average over the course of like a 6-month period when I was single. And then when I got the coaching, I went out 10 nights in about 2.5 weeks, right before COVID actually, and I pulled 7 out of 10 nights. So my life completely changed from coaching, and that's really just the power of like getting specific help. So I wouldn't recommend coaching for guys that are not trying to take this seriously. If you're not trying to take this seriously and you're just trying to get a little bit more help, like fine, whatever. But if you want this to be, you know, home run, knock this part of your life out for good, it's done, then getting coaching and getting someone that really cares about your results is going to help you one-on-one. You record your approaches, you have them break it down for you. Hey, this is your sticking point, change this, this is when I would have bounced around the venue, this is how you pull, this is the strategy, this is the thing. If you want to do that, then coaching is definitely for you. All right, you can apply for a mentorship with me down in the description. Also, Todd V is super good, so if you guys just look him up on YouTube, his stuff was very valuable for me. Big inspiration. I would say 30% of what I coach now came from going through that program. So those are the 3 honestly kind of mega autistic things that I did that got me super obsessed and super good results in my dating life. And I couldn't be happier that I actually went through with all these things. These are all things that I objectively, even though I made a lot of mistakes along the way, I'm super happy that I did all these things. So if you want to follow in these footsteps and start getting real consistent results with women that you're super happy with, then these are 3 strategies that you might get judged for, or you might be nervous to talk about, but they're gonna work. You know, they might be a little autistic, they might be a little extreme, but they're gonna work for you. All right, I promise. If you like the video, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.